What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you another OneHive War Recap video where we randomly matched Mariana Trench for a 40v40. The breakdown was not equal, and we'll get into that in just a moment. We were able to come away with the victory pretty decidedly, 113 to 109, with also about a 1.5% over total destruction. Let's talk about what that disadvantage was. The breakdowns were OneHive had 7 Town Hall 11s, and our Town Hall 10s went all the way down to 22, so that's 715. And then the rest to fill. Mariana Trench only had 6 Town Hall 11s, and their Town Hall 10s went all the way down to, I want to say 22 as well. So really the disadvantage was that one Town Hall that OneHive had. I don't believe the bow is in here because I always get him mixed up. Unless we have some, I don't believe they're going to 10s. All right, so Mariana Trench did double all of our Town Hall 11s, and holy cow, they really did. They did some great jobs on that. Look at these percentages: 71%, 84%, 61, 66. I mean, great job to Mariana Trench pulling down such high percent 10v11 game, which is crucial for these wins. They left 4 Town Hall 10s undoubled, and their Town Hall 9 game was on point as usual. And then for OneHive, we were able to double the Town Hall 11s as well, but we did not get anywhere close to the percentage that they had. 11s, again, great shout out to them, but we did get an 11 on 11-3, which ended out the war. Of course, that's going to be in the recap, and we decided to just leave. Well, this one left at 99% the dip, and left 2 Town Hall 10s uncleared. Let's look at the dip game because everyone wants to know what that is all about. We missed on 2 dips, I believe is what it was. Yeah, Princess Mommy and DAZ. So 2 misses on the dips. And then for Mariana Trench, let me make sure that's right. Yep, we're good. And then for Mariana Trench, 1, 2, 3 dip misses. I believe 10v10. OneHive had 3 10v10 clears, and Mariana Trench had 2 of them. So formalities out of the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes. I promise you this recap will not fail to disappoint. I have something for everybody in every town hall. This was a great war as far as variety and just skill on both sides. Really fun to watch, and Jake from OneHive Raids also streamed the ending if you were lucky enough to jump in on that. Here we have the last raid of the war, where it was mathematically out of reach for Mariana Trench at this point. So we're coming in, getting that 11 on 11 practice, gearing up for the CWL Season 2 starting this weekend. This was a great war to do it because Mariana Trench is also in it to win it, and they're really good. So a lot of great attack going on with this, with the BK leading, tanking for the queen, using the ability to get away some archer tower, wizard tower, and then hopefully this finish off this queen right here. We'll zoom in a little bit. Oh, just 1 shot. That's all we need. But look how much damage that 45 queen does. Good lord, harder than a truck. But she wins that battle. 45 v45 on that. Starting out the air warden behind a ton of loons, and Lalo basically going to work clockwise around this base. There's that clone to get even more. Just this raid was just something else. Eternal Tome ability used as a lot of those loons get really close to that Infernal Tower. By the time it wears off, they're already on top of it, just smashing this base. And the hound's now flying over. Still 1 unpopped hound. The only scary moment at this part is he has a lot of loons coming in behind this unpopped hound, but he still has a rage. And look how many loons. Lord, so many. Coming into a wizard tower, but under rage. Even though they're wounded, they're just going to finish off the base. He's got a loon and minion for the cleanup on the trash ring on the back end. Just great way to end the war on the last raid with an exclamation point. We'll go to ×2. Nerf Ulster. That's what I'm going to say. This is the second time that we were able to get an 11 on 11 attempts And this is the second time. I believe the last war, the arranged war with Powercock, he also ended it with an 11 on 11-3, if my memory serves. Great job there. Let's back out of here and get into that sweet, dirty 10 on 10 action. We're going to go down to, at my notes, this would be number 18, which is Atoma. Let's take a look at that. With his skeleton Lalo, you can see how he decides to take away some free percentage and high hit point, basically time, with these wizard towers right here uncovered. So they're going to get the town hall, as well as the barracks and the gold storage. And that's a lot of time saving at the end when you're chasing the clock. So really good eye on that and return on investment. And then it also starts part of the funnel for the BK tanking for that queen. And he fishes out, or takes care of, with that Iron Fist ability, clears out the exposed Teslas there. This was a cleanup, of course. Queen steps up right behind that and gets so many air targeting defenses, wizard towers, arch towers, and only under the threat of a multi infernal stream, which really doesn't do anything to the queen like this in this type of a strategy. Continues on the way and gets a few more defenses as well with that ability in hand. Will eventually get up to that archer tower before finally losing the gusto right here and falls. But that is enough with 4 air defenses and 4 hounds, with a few loons to zoom right into an unabated or basically unhindered access straight to the infernal tower. That haste allows that. Rage around the core, skeletons as well to get that queen. No splash damage now by the queen. They're going to eat through the wall because they're all under that rage, and work towards getting the BK, as well as the sweeper, as the altar, as the kitchen sink. I mean, look at these Larrys go. Damn. It's just wow. Just wow. I mean, I love watching Atoma. Hopefully we can see more of him in his own words in the near future. Would love to see him talk through his raids. Hopefully that's in the works. As we go to ×2, nothing but cleanup. And loons that get a nice split here. 2 unpopped hounds, which doesn't help. But, I mean, he just annihilated this base. And I love the in-game name, I Love Brad Pitt. It's almost as funny as Surgical Goblin. A Surgical Go Wipe, rather. Let's move on down to ASAP Ozzy on Lima, doing a Shattered Bolalo. So we saw Suicide Royal Quattro, or Quad Lalo, with skeletons for the queen. Now we're looking at a Shattered approach with a bowler heavy and only 2 hounds and 14 loons. You can see how he does that here. We'll zoom in just a little bit. There's the other side of that funnel with that exposed Tesla. Basically, the bowler tanking for his his golem taking for his 7 bowlers, and then a golem to give tanking for the queen, and then backed up with a BK. So that the queen can get pivotal objectives, as well as that BK now takes the jump with all the bowlers with it to get this enemy queen. Rage down to make sure he gets all that, because bowlers under rage do so much work. Wall breakers open the right-hand side to make sure that he gets that IT or Infernal Tower, and then continues on the way with ability stew in hand to get an Archer Tower as well as an X-Bow. And then I do believe that this Archer air defense right here would have been gravy, meaning that I think that, you know, he was aiming to get that as well, and if it didn't go down, then it's not the end of the world, because look at the pathing that is remaining after the Shattered entry with rage bowlers, not for your loons in this aspect, and the fact that this queen is still working on some walls, but he's going to let her die to this hound here as the haste goes through. And the freeze goes down, and he's got a wad of healthy loons coming in right as the moment that this hound busts and gives some cleanup pups. But there's nothing left really to really thwart this attack from going around. He did have to use the ability after the hound busted, which allowed him to keep the queen as a cleanup troop, which is the best one on the map, circling the map, and he still had minions in the right spot, so he wasn't chasing time. I mean, That's a great raid. It's just great raids this war. For 11s, 10s, we got one more 10 to show you, and then we'll dip down into the 9s. As I mentioned, there was just so much great content. I can't not show it. Here's the last 10 on 10-3. It's really nice. We're doing, so far we've seen Suicide Royals with a quad Lalo to a Shattered Bow Lalo. So now we're looking at a Cold Blood entry, but Valkyries really to help almost guarantee the objective of what you're looking for with that jump spell. As you can see that he's going to do that here with using some of the troop space rather than having 4 Valkyries, using 2 Wizards to guarantee that funnel that you got your Queen going into the right area all by herself. She'll get the Archer Tower, Air Defense, and Wizard Tower with the ability in hand, which only helps the Lalo portion of this raid. Turn to the left, couple shots on that Wizard Tower. She goes down, and now she's did her job. CC is not even out yet, which is what's so nice about this. BK is now funneled straight for the Queen. And with that Houndloon in there, that's the reason why he brought those Valkyries. And you can see that he did such a great job here that after the Valkyries and the BK did their job, they then exit the premises and continue around the back end and start cleaning a trash ring. I mean, damn, that's awesome. And then he goes ahead and starts the Lalo portion from that side of it. Straight into the teeth of a bunch of Archer Towers. And anchors down that air defense for 2 hounds on that. 3 more haste, 5 haste total. Heal along the slow-moving stall-out point of all these defenses in that core area, so it's a rage and a heal, so that they quickly take away all these high hit point defenses like Expos and Wizard Towers at this level, but then don't really lose any of their tankage or their health, basically, as they can come in fully healthy, entering a bunch of point defenses here and overwhelm the remaining defenses. He did so well with this that he actually bags a haste spell. We'll go to ×2 because it's nothing but cleanup at this point with that Archer instrumental and dragging the Hound to the 3 o'clock position by the hut. And then he realized he's safe to go ahead and put down the minion as well to get the hut and then just work on the Hound for giggles. Nice job, Ludo. Bounce out of this one. And then let's get our scroll on and start looking at some of that sexy 9 on 9. I have only 2 to show you, but I promise you, if you stayed this long throughout the recap, they will not fail to meet expectations. To start off, I have Grand Witch Addy, who I believe is the mini of Ulster. Could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. So many minis nowadays, man. It's hard keeping them straight sometimes. But don't jolt. Don't adjust your set. This is not a dip. This is not a gobo, a bowler and witch. This is the Town Hall 9 mass witch, or Town Hall 9. It's not even it's not even a goey. There's no golem. It's just CC bowlers and 12 witches. 2 jumps for the BK and Queen to go straight down the gut. I believe this was fresh, if I'm not mistaken. But if you guys want to see just how powerful these witches are, I believe there's even a attack strategy video out there somewhere. Someone had mentioned, I believe it's called the bitch slap or something like that, where you have healers on the outside like this with keeping up those witches. You only need you really only need 1 healer behind witches, and they can keep going in aspects like this. But he had 2 on each side, for being a fresh hit. You don't know if you're gonna have Sams that come up and take one away. But you can see the power of these witches. I'm staying zoomed out so you can see how they stall out at splash damages with before the update and before these were nerfed to the ground. This was like unheard of. You get 1 mortar, 1 splash, and then that was it. The witches would not last. But these witches are taking on, if you want to rewind a little bit, they took on wizard corner defenses and just kept going after the splash would take away the masses of the Larrys. This may look like, we're going to go to ×2. It may look like you're chasing a clock, but this was a 2.5 minute raid. I mean, it's just, there's Larrys everywhere. They're everywhere on this base. The witches are insane. So it's kind of exciting post-update to see the witches come back a little bit more for variety. But at the end of the day, loons are king. At the end of the day, loons are king. That's all I'm going to say. But it's nice job, nice unconventional 3 that we don't see everywhere on YouTube. And then to end this out, I have something very special for you. My man, Tref Daddy, doing a 5 skeleton, 3 Lalo, 3 Hound Lalo. You can see how he does this. We'll go to ×2 just so that you can appreciate it. Let's go back a little bit. So if you're looking at this, this mortar is what kind of puts a damper on this idea. Watch how he accounts for that. He has the rage overlap the lip of where that wall is to get the mortar. Has 1 skeleton just for that aspect of it. It's unfortunate that as the Larrys come up, some of them aggro straight onto the queen line. But it was enough to get the queen, mortar, CC, air defense. If there wasn't a mortar there, he probably would have got the other air defense as well. Meanwhile, on the bottom, what we're missing is a Suicide Royal to clear away some defensive air targeting defenses and some trash ring as well, basically funneling for his Lalo. And then he starts, you just watch. I mean, that was, I saw that and that was sick. Pretty sure he was gearing up after this to watch the finale of The Bachelor last night. That would be forever ingrained with him now that it's on YouTube that I said that. Don't hate. We all know that Tref Daddy loves The Bachelor. Alright, so there's that Hound traversing over to the right. He has too many loons to count. I believe he only used like 10 or 14 at most at this point of the raid. Maybe 12. I think he had 28 total to start. But not only was the Rage Skeleton entry part, starting part of this raid, so fun to watch, the patience of his loon deployment was also very fun to watch. He doesn't have very many spells except 1 heal, which is for this Tesla wizard farm right here. But he's still got 4 loons right now. And he's just the patience being exhibited and displayed is just so nice. It's just nice. I would have been dropping these loons a heck of a lot earlier, but that patience pays off for him. He's able to have some healthy hounds come into the back end. At this point, you're praying for one of them to pop. I mean, I believe if those back end loons were just held onto for about 10 seconds more, the hounds would have came over and took some Black Sams, gave him more cleanup pups. But he's got 3 minions and a loon for the cleanup ring, so he wasn't chasing the clock on this either. Just a beautiful raid. You gotta always appreciate though. It's skeleton raged to get the queen and CC and AE all at once. I mean, you just don't always see that nowadays. Everything's always Golaloon or Cold-Blood or something Lalo. So saw these 9s, how to put it on the recap. Well deserved. Fun war. Respect out to Mariana Trench. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you gotta be better than a double. And now we'll check you next time.